Gotta get it squared up so it'll sit flat on the frame. Okay, now to clean up the rest of it. Well, it ain't perfect, but it's a whole lot better than it was, and it'll look fine once it's primed and painted after it's been welded in place. That's the next step, is to weld it in place. So the next step in the process is I need to get a little more room to work underneath the frame over here, and I've got to do some grinding, and I've got to do some welding. And this piece is going to get welded in place right here, just like that. So I've got to grind off the bottom here, get the paint off of it. I've already put a piece of asbestos in here to protect my wires and the gas line so that they don't get overheated when I'm grinding and welding. And you can hear in the background, maybe you can hear my compressor running, and that's so that I can raise the lift up. Let's see if we've got enough air in there now. Oh yeah, don't gotta go up much, just enough to pull that out. Now disconnect our air line, and our setup is this. I have this chain hooked up to this hook up in the beam. You notice I've taken the front wheels off to take a little more weight off. There's not much weight on the front now, and it's all going to be pivoting on the back blocks that the frame is sitting on back there. So when I let the lift down, it's going to give me more space between the frame and the lift. Alright, now you can see me let the lift down. You watch the frame's going to come up off of these blocks here. And the frame is actually going to be hanging from the beam. And there it starts to go up as the lift comes down. Might help if I made sure things were out of the way on the other side. Don't know, one of the blocks fell out, that's all. We'll get that before we put it back up again. So the frame is staying up pretty high, and I still have things falling off of the frame because it's at such an angle. I'll still have to be down on my knees while I'm doing my grinding and welding, but I can lift this up. Put that in there out of the way, and I can swing my arm out of the way. Can you see that? Yeah. Swing that out of the way so I can get in there with the grinder. And then once I get the frame ground off, then we'll clamp it and weld it. Hold on to your hats. You don't need to watch me grinding and all that stuff. I'll bring you back when I'm ready to put some weld on it. How's that? Now you can see my setup. how I've got it clamped. I've already put a tack on each side of the bracket. Now I'm going to take my tie rod out of there, my drag link, my radius rod, split wishbone, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to pull it out of there so I can finish welding it. And I can also get rid of my clamp at the same time, but I've got to reposition my grounding strap. We'll see how we're going to work that out. Do better this time than I did the last time. Nothing little grinding won't fix. Now we're going to sneak around from the other side and weld the back. Well, Matt the Scrap Whisperer talks about his Gorilla Gloves, and I'll tell you what, standing on your head welding, he ain't got nothing on the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, I could tell you that right now. Thank God for grinding wheels. We'll clean it up and see how it looks after we get it ground down a little bit. Well, as is standard with any project, there's always hiccups along the way, especially when you're using what you got and making things do and not having all brand new parts. But we've finally got it together. And you can see here on the outside, on the other side, it's what it looks like there. And yes, those are the bungs that the split wishbones were originally in. We're going to leave those as is for now till we determine if we are going to have another problem along the way and we need to make another modification. This is R&D, research and development, no matter what you think. And one of the issues we had was right here. See that? Maybe you can't see it. Let me put a plain background behind it so you can see it. We had a clearance issue here when I got my wishbone pushed back in there. That was holding it up. I couldn't actually get it all the way in. So we had to take this off. This is the rod for the brake. And like that. Oh, and I can see, look at that. Now watch this. I didn't make the brake work. But watch this. It's hitting again. So I got more modifications to do. I have already modified this part here. And I'm going to have to modify it again, I guess. So, that's okay. I didn't put it all back together on purpose because I knew that there was a possibility of something more coming up as we went along. So I haven't finished connecting this back here to my master cylinder. And I have another reason for that, is somehow I need to get it hooked up to the master cylinder that's going to be on the other side over there somewhere, which hasn't been determined yet. So that's this point in the project, and now that I have that done, and I'll tell you what, between shaky hands and having to be down on your knees and welding upside down and eyes that don't focus up close like they ought to, especially when you get a welding helmet on. Yeah, well, excuses, excuses. You know what they say. Excuses are like noses. everybody's got one. So no more excuses. But we're making headway. And we got that part of our project done anyway. So we have that turned, and when I let the frame back down, or bring the lift back up actually, I'll put some weight on the front axle, which will push it up more, and that'll even rotate it a little bit more in the direction of our positive caster. Not camber. I almost said it again. I like that word camber for some reason. So anyway, till next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, saying thanks for watching, and I hope things are rolling ahead for you. Lots more to come on the Goofy Cart, and we got some other projects. Looks like I might be having a 1994 Buick Century to work on. So we'll see if I'm going to bring you along with that or not. One of the things I know I have to do to it is I have to put new coil packs on it. That might be of interest to somebody. 1994. Wow. That means that that car is 30 years old. Woo-hoo. Yeah, well. Till next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, saying thanks for watching. It's warming up here. It almost hit 60 today, and it's supposed to hit 70 over the weekend. Spring is coming. Bye for now.